Oh, so many people. Sacre bleu. Sacre bleu. Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs, et autres. My name is Monsieur Le Beau, and I would like to welcome you to the court of Duke Frederick. Thank you all for joining us today, tonight. Today, 4 o'clock, it's difficult to tell. But yes, thank you all for coming to the spectacle known as You Like It by William Shakespeare. Before we begin, there is a couple of notes. Number one, the runtime of the show is, I think, just under 2 hours and 15 minutes, with a 10-minute intermission somewhere in there, a little bit over halfway through. In case of emergency, fires, earthquakes, landslides, whatever, you never know in this country, exits are here, and if you would like to use the restroom, you can exit through here, and there is a little vestibule area back there. There are 3 restrooms in there. Finally, I would like to mention that there will be significant movement happening up and down this aisle, so if you would like to take care of that, that would be lovely. And now I will let you all enjoy the show, because I believe I see Duke Frederick coming.
As I remember, Adam, it was upon this fashion my father bequeathed to me but poor 1,000 crowns, and, as thou sayest, charged my brother Oliver on his blessing to breed me well. And there begins my sadness. He keeps me rustically at home, or to speak more properly, stays me here at home unkept. For call you that keeping for a gentleman of my birth that differs not from the stalling of an ox? He lets me feed with his hinds, bars me the place of a brother, and as much as in him lies, minds my gentility with my education. This is it, Adam, that grieves me, and I will no longer endure it, though as yet I know no wise remedy how to avoid it.
Yonder comes my master, your brother.
Go apart, old Adam, and thou shalt hear how he will shake me up.
Why now? What make you here?
Nothing. I am not taught to make anything.
What mar you then, sir?
Marry, sir, I am helping you to mar that which God made, a poor, unworthy brother of yours, with idleness.
Marry, be better employed, and be not a while.
Shall I eat your hogs and eat husks with them too? What prodigal portion have I spent to come to such penury?
Know you where you are, sir?
Oh, sir, very well, here in your orchard.
Know you whom before, sir?
Aye, sir, better than him I am before knows me. I know you are my elder brother. The courtesy of nations allows you my better, in that you are the firstborn, but the same tradition takes not away my blood, or that 20 brothers betwixt us. I have as much of my father in me as you.
What point?
Come, elder brother. You're too young in this.
Thou thy hands on me, brother!
I am no villain. I am the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys. He was my father, and he is thrice a villain that to such a father begot villains. Wert thou not my brother, I will not take this hand from thy throat till the other and pulled out thy tongue for saying so.
Sweet masters, be patient, for your father's remembrance be at accord.
Let me go, I say!
I will not till I please. You shall hear me. My father bequeathed you in his will to give me good education, and you have trained me like a peasant, obscuring and hiding from me all gentlemanlike qualities. The spirit of my father grows strong in me, and I will no longer endure it. Therefore, allow me such exercises as may become a gentleman, or give me the poor luxury my father left me by testament, and with that I will go buy my fortunes.
What wilt thou do? Beg when that is spent? I will not long be troubled with thee. You shall have some part of your will. Well, get you in! Get you with him, you old dog!
Is old dog my reward? Most true, I have lost my teeth in your service. God be with my old master. He would not have spoke such a word.
Is it even so? Begin you to grow upon me. I will physic your rankness, and give no 1,000 crowns neither. 'Twill be a good way. And tomorrow the wrestling is.
Good morrow to your worship.
Good Monsieur Charles. What's the new news at the new court?
Oh, there's no news at the court, sir, but the old news. That is, the old Duke has been banished by his younger brother, the new Duke.
Oh.
Four loving lords have put themselves into voluntary exile with him.
Can you tell if the Duke's daughter Rosalind be banished with her father?
Oh, no, sir, for the Duke's daughter, Celia, so loves her, being ever from their cradles bred together, that she would have followed her exile or died to stay behind her. She is at court, and no less beloved of the Duke than is his own daughter. And never two ladies loved as they do.
Where will the old Duke live?
They say he is already in the Forest of Arden, and a many merry men with him. And there they live like the old Robin Hood of England.
You wrestle tomorrow before the new Duke?
Marry, do I, sir? And I came to acquaint you with the matter. I am given, sir, secretly, to understand that your brother Orlando hath a disposition to come against me to try a fall. Tomorrow, sir, I wrestle for my credit, and he that escapes me without some broken limb shall acquit him well. Your brother is but young and tender, and for your love, I would be loath to foil him, as I must, for mine own honor, if he come in.
I'll tell thee, Charles. It is the stubbornest young fellow in all of France, an envious emulator of every man's good parts, a secret and villainous contriver against me, his natural brother. Therefore, use thy discretion. I had as lief thou didst break his neck as his finger.
I am heartily glad I came hither to thee. If he come tomorrow, I'll give him his payment. So God keep your worship.
Farewell, Monsieur Charles. Now I will stir this gamester. I hope I shall see an end for him. For my soul, yet I know not why, hates nothing more than he. Yet he's gentle, never schooled yet learned, full of noble device, of all sorts belovingly enchanted. But it shall not be so long. This wrestler shall clear all. Nothing remains but that I kindle the boy thither, which now I'll go about.
I pray thee, Rosalind, sweet my cousin, be married.
Dear Celia, I show more mirth than I am mistress of. And would you yet I were merrier unless you could teach me to forget a banished father? You had better not learn me to remember any extraordinary pleasure.
Herein I see thou lovest me, not with the full weight that I love thee. If my uncle, thy banished father, had banished thy uncle, the Duke, my father, so I had still been with thou, I could have taught my love to take thy father for mine.
Huh?
If my uncle, thy banished father, had banished thy uncle, the Duke.
Well, I will forget the conditions of my estate to rejoice in yours.
You know my father hath no childly eye, nor none is like to have, and truly when he dies thou shalt be his heir. What he hath taken from your father perforce, I shall render thee again in affection. And mine honor, I will. And when I break that oath, let me turn monster. Therefore, my sweet Rose, my dear Rose, be merry.
From henceforth I will, cause, and devise sports. Let me see. What think you of falling in love?
Marry, I prithee do, to make sport withal, but love no man in good earnest, nor no further in sport, neither than with the safety of a pure blush mayst thou in honor come off again.
What shall be our sport then?
Let us sit and mock the good housewife fortune from her wheel, that her gifts may henceforth be bestowed more equally.
Would we could do so, for her benefits are mightily misplaced, and the bountiful blind woman doth most mistake in her gifts to women.
'Tis true, for those that she makes fair, she scarce makes honest, and those that she makes honest, well, she makes them very ill-favored.
Nay, now thou goes from nature's office to fortune's. Fortune reigns in the gifts of the world, not of the lineaments of nature.
No, when nature hath made a fair creature, may she not by fortune fall into the fire? Though nature hath given us wit to flout, and fortune hath not fortune sent in this fool to cut off the argument?
Mistress, you must come away to your father.
Were you made the messenger?
No, by mine honor, but I was bid come for you.
Where learned you this oath, fool?
Of a certain knight that swore by his honor that the pancakes were good and the mustard was not. Now I'll stand to it. The pancakes were not, and the mustard was good, and yet was not the knight forsworn.
How prove you this in the great heap of your knowledge?
Ay, marry, unmuzzle your wisdom.
Stand you forth both now. Stroke your chins and swear by your beards that I am a knave.
By our beards,
If we had them.
thou art.
By my knavery, if I had it, then I were. But if you swear by that which is not, you are not forsworn. No more was this knight swearing away his honor, for he never had any. Or if he did, he swore all away before he ever saw those pancakes. Or that mustard.
Privy, who is it that thou meanest?
Certain knight your father, the Duke Frederick, loves.
Her father's love is enough to honor him. Enough you'll be whipped for taxation one of these days.
The more pity that fools may not speak wisely, what wise men do foolishly.
By my troth, thou speakest true, for the little wisdom that fools have with silence, the little foolery that wise men have makes a great show. Look, here comes Monsieur Le Beau,
With his mouth full of news.
which he will put on us as pigeons feed their young. Bonjour, good Monsieur Le Beau. What's the news?
Ah, fair princess, you have lost much good sport.
Sport of what color?
What color, madam? How shall I answer you?
What, as wit and fortune will.
You amaze me, ladies. I would have told you of good wrestling, which you have lost the sight
You
of.
tell us the manner of the wrestling.
There comes an old man in and his 3 sons.
I could match this beginning with an old tale.
The eldest of the 3 wrestled with Charles, the Duke's wrestler, which Charles, in a moment, threw him and broke 3 of his ribs. There is little hope of life in him. So he served the 2nd, and so the 3rd, the under they lie. The poor old man, their father, making such pitiful dole over them, that all the beholders take his part with weeping.
Alas!
But what is the sport, monsieur, that the ladies have lost?
Why, this that I speak of.
Thus men may grow wiser every day. First ever I heard the breaking of ribs was sport for ladies.
Or I assure thee.
Is there yet another dotes upon rib breaking? Shall we see this wrestling, cousin?
You must if you stay here, for here is the place appointed for the wrestling, and they are ready to perform it.
Oh, yonder, sure they are coming.
If the youth will not be entreated his own peril and foolishness.
Is yonder the man?
Even ye, madam.
Alas, he is too young. Yet, he looks successfully.
Hello, daughter! And cousin!
Art thou crept hither to see the wrestling?
Aye, my liege, so please you give us leave.
You will take little delight in it, I can tell you. In pity of the challenger's youth, I would fain dissuade him, but he will not be entreated. Speak with him, ladies. See if you can sway him.
Call him hither, good Monsieur Le Beau.
Monsieur le Challenger! Monsieur le Challenger! The princess is good for you.
I attend them with all respect and duty. Hi.
Young man, have you challenged Charles the wrestler?
No, fair princess, he is the general challenger. I come but in, as others do, to try him with the strength of my youth.
Young sir, your spirits are too great for your years. You have seen cruel proof of this man's strength. If you saw yourself with your eyes, or knew yourself with your judgment, fear of your adventure would counsel you to a more equal enterprise. We pray you, for your own sake, to embrace your own safety and give over this attempt.
Do, young sir, your reputation will not be misprized. We will make it our suit to the Duke that the wrestling might not go forward.
I beseech you, punish me not with your hard hearts.
Wherein I confess me much guilty to deny so excellent and fair ladies anything. But let your gentle wishes and fair hearts go with me to my trial, wherein, if I am foiled, there is but one shame that was never gracious. If I am killed, there is but one dead who was willing to be so. I shall do my friends no wrong, for I have none to lament me. In the world no injury, for in it I have nothing. Only in the world I fill up a place which may still be better supplied when I have made it empty.
The little strength that I have, I would it were with you.
And mine's eke out hers.
Now fare you well, pray heaven I be deceived in you.
Come! Where is this young gallant so desirous to lie with his mother earth?
Ready, sir, but his will hath been
You shall try but one fall.
No, I warrant your grace. You shall not entreat him to a second that have so mightily persuaded him from a first.
And you mean to mock me after? You should not have mocked me before.
Now
But
Hercules
come
be thy
your
speed,
ways.
young man.
I would I were invisible to catch the strong fellow by the leg.
Oh, excellent young man!
If I had a thunderbolt in my eye, I can tell who should down.
Yes, I beseech your grace, I am still not well breathed.
How dost thou, Charles?
We cannot speak, my lord.
Bear him away. What is thy name, young man?
Orlando, my liege, the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys. Thank you. Roland de Boys.
I would thou hadst been son to some man else. The world esteemed thy father honourable, yet I did find him still mine enemy. But fare thee well, thou art a gallant youth. I would thou hadst told me of another father.
Were I my father, cuz, would I do this?
Well, I am more proud to be Sir Roland's son, his youngest son, actually, and would not change that calling to be adopted heir to Frederick.
Had I before known him, Sir Roland's son, I should have given him tears unto entreaties ere he should thus have ventured.
Gentle cousin, let us go thank him and encourage him. My father's rough and envious disposition sticks me apart. Sir, if you do keep your promises in love, but justly as you have exceeded all promise, your mistress shall be happy.
Mistress.
Gentlemen. Wear this for me. One out of suits with fortune could give more, but that her hand lacks the means. Shall we go, cuss?
Aye, fare you well, fair gentleman.
Can I not say I thank you? My better parts are all thrown down, and that which here stands up is but a mere quinton, a mere lifeless block.
He calls us back! My pride fell with my fortunes. I'll ask him what he would. Did you call, sir? Sir, you have wrestled well and overthrown more than just your enemies.
I am the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys.
Will you go, cuz?
Have with you. Fare you well.
What passion hangs these weights upon my tongue? I cannot speak to her, yet she urged conference. Oh, poor Orlando, thou art overthrown. Or Charles, or something weaker, master's thee.
Ah, good sir. I do in friendship counsel you to leave this place, for such is now the Duke's condition that he misconstrues all that you have done. The Duke is, humorous. What is indeed more suits you to conceive than I to speak of.
I thank you, sir, and pray you tell me this, which of the two here was daughter of the Duke that here was at the wrestling?
and neither his daughter if we judge by manners. But yet indeed the shorter is his daughter. The other is daughter to the banished duke, and here detained by a usurping uncle to keep his daughter company.
I rest much bound into you, fare thee well.
Enchanté.
Thus must I, from the smoke unto the smother, from a tyrant duke unto a tyrant brother.
But oh, heavenly Rosaline!
Why, cousin? Why, Rosalind? Cupid have mercy, not a word.
Not one to throw at a dog.
No, thy words are too precious to be thrown away upon curs. Come, throw some at me, lame me with reasons.
Then there were two cousins lamed up, one lamed with reasons and the other mad without any.
But is all this for your father?
No. Some of it is for my child's father. Oh, how full of briars is this working day world.
Come, wrestle with thy affection.
Oh, they take the part of a better wrestler than myself.
Good wish upon you. But, taking these jests out of service, let us talk in good earnest. Is it possible on such a sudden you should fall into so strong a liking with old Sir Roland's youngest son?
The Duke, my father, loved his father dearly.
Well, doth it therefore ensue that you should love his son dearly? By this kind of chase I should hate him, for my father hated his father dearly, yet I hate not Orlando.
No, faith, hate him not for my sake.
Why should I not?
Let me love him for that. And do you love him? Because I do. Look, here comes the Duke.
With his eyes full of anger.
Mistress, dispense you with your safest haste and get you from our court.
Me, uncle?
You, cousin, within these 10 days, if thou beest found so near as 20 miles from our public court, you diest for it.
I do beseech your grace, let me the knowledge of my fault bear with me. If that I do not dream or be not frantic, as I perceive I am not, then never so much as in a thought unborn have I harmed your highness.
Thus do all traitors. If their purgation did consist in words, why, then they are all as innocent as grace itself. Let it suffice thee that I trust thee not.
Your mistrust cannot make me a traitor. Tell me wherein the likelihood depends.
Thou art thy father's daughter. There's enough.
So was I when your highness took his dukedom. So was I when your highness banished him. Treason is not inherited, my lord, or if we did derive it from friends, what's that to me? My father was no traitor!
Dear sovereign, hear me speak.
Aye, Celia, we stayed her for your sake, else she with her father ranged along.
I did not then entreat to have her stay. It was your own pleasure and your remorse. I was too young at that time to have valued her, but now I know her. If she betrayed her, why then so am I. We still have slept together, rose at an instant, learned, played, ate together, and wheresoever we went like Juno's swans, coupled and inseparable.
She is too subtle for thee. Her smoothness and her silence, her very patience speaks to the people, and they pity her. Thou art a fool as she robs thee of thy name, and thou wilt shone more bright and seem more virtuous when she is gone. Ah, open not thy lips. Firm and irrevocable is the doom which I have cast upon her. She is banished.
Pronounce that sentence then on me, my liege. I cannot live out of her company.
You are a fool. You, cousin, provide yourself, if you outstay the time, upon mine honor and the greatness of my word. You die.
My dear Rosalind, whither wilt thou go? Wilt thou change fathers? I would give thee mine. I charge thee, be not more grieved than I am.
I have more cause.
Thou hast not, cousin. Prithee be cheerful. Knowest thou not the Duke hath banished me, his daughter?
That he had not.
No, hath not. Rosalind lacks then the love which teaches her that thou and I are one. Shall we be sundered? Shall we part, sweet girl? No. Let my father seek another heir, and therefore devise with me how we may fly, whither to go, and what to bear with us. And do not seek to take your change upon you, to bear your griefs yourself and leave me out. Say what thou wilt, I'll go along with thee.
Why, whither shall we go?
To seek, my uncle, in the Forest of Arden.
Alas, what danger will it be to us maids as we are to travel forth so far? Beauty provoketh thieves sooner than gold.
I'll put myself in poor and mean attire, and with a kind of umber smirch my face the like to you. So shall we pass along and never stir assailants?
Were it not better, because that I am more than common tall, that I did suit me at all points as a man. A gallant curtle axe on my thigh, a boar spear in my hand, and in my heart lie there whatever woman's fear there will.
What shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I'll have no worse a name than Jove's own page, and therefore, look you call me Ganymede. But what will you be called?
Something that hath a reference to my state. No longer Celia, but Aliena.
No.
Aliena.
Aliena. But, cousin, what if we essayed to steal the clownish fool out of your father's court? Were he not a comfort to our travels?
He'll go along o'er the wide world for me. Leave me alone to woo him. Come, let's away. Gather our jewels and our wealth together, devise the fittest time and safest way to hide us from pursuit that will be made after our flight. Now we go in content, to liberty and not to banishment.
The Forest of Arden. The Forest of Arden.
The Forest of Arden.
The Forest of Arden. Forest of Arden. The Forest of Arden.
Forest of Arden. The Forest of Arden. The Forest of Arden.
The Forest of Arden. The Forest of Arden. The Forest of Arden. The Forest of Arden. The Forest of Arden.
Now, my co-mates and brothers in exile, hath not old custom made this life more sweet than that of painted pomp? Are not these woods more free from peril than the envious court? Here feel we but the penalty of Adam, the season's difference, as the icy fang and churlish chiding of winter's wind, which when it bites and blows upon my body, even till I shrink with cold, I smile, and I say, this is no flattery. These are counselors which feelingly persuade me what I am. Sweet are the uses of adversity, and this, our life, exempt from public haunt, finds tongues in trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything. I would not change it.
Happy is your grace that can translate the stubbornness of fortune into so quiet and so sweet a style.
Oh, come! Shall we go and kill us venison? It irks me. The poor dappled fools, being native burghers of this desert city, should in their own confines with forked heads have their round haunches gored.
Indeed, my lord, the melancholy Jacques grieves at that, and in that kind swears that we do more usurp than doth your brother that hath banished you. Today, we stole behind him as he lay along the brook that brawls along this wood, to the which place a poor, sequestered stag, that from the hunter's aim and ta'en and hurt, did come to languish, and the big, round tears coursed one another down his innocent nose in piteous chase.
But what said Jacques? Did he not moralize the spectacle?
Oh, yes, into 1,000 similes. Poor dear, quoth he, thus misery doth part the flocks of company. Thus, anon, a careless herd full of the pasture jumps along by him, never stopping to greet him. And I, quoth Jacques, sweep on, you fat and greasy citizens. 'Tis just the fashion. Wherefore should you look upon that poor and broken bankrupt there? Thus most invectively, he pierceth through the body of our country, city and court, yea, and of this our life swearing that we are mere usurpers, tyrants, and what's worse, to fright the animals, and to kill them up in their native and assigned dwelling places.
Did you leave him in this contemplation?
We did, my lord, weeping and commenting upon the sobbing deer.
Show me the place. I love to cope him in these sullen fits, for then he is full of matter.
Well, I'll bring you to him straight.
Can it be possible that no man saw them? Surely it cannot. Some villains of my court must be consented sufferance in this.
I cannot hear of any that did see her. The ladies, her attendants of her chamber, saw her abed, and in the morning early found the bed untreasured of their mistress.
My lord, Touchstone the clown, at whom your grace so oft was wont to laugh, is also missing. I do confess, I secretly ordered your daughter and her cousin much commend the parts and graces of the wrestler that did but lately foil the sinewy Charles. So I believe, wherever they are gone, that youth is surely in their company.
Send to his brother. Bring that gallant hither. If he be absent, bring his brother to me, and I'll make him find him. And do this suddenly! Bring again these foolish runaways!
Who's there?
What? My young master? Oh, my gentle master. Oh, my sweet master. Oh, you memory of old Sir Roland. Why, what make you here? Your praise has come too swiftly home before you. Oh, what a world is this when what is comely envenoms him that bears it.
What's the matter?
Oh, unhappy youth. Come not within these walls. Within this roof, the enemy of all your graces lives. Your brother. No brother. Yet the son. Yet not the son. I will not call him son of him I was about to call his father. Hath heard your praises. In this night he means to burn the lodging in which you used to lie, and you within it. This is no place. This house is but a butchery. Abhor it, fear it, do not enter it.
Why, whither, Adam, wouldst thou have me go?
No matter whither, so you come not here.
Wouldst thou have me go and beg my food? This I must do, or know not what to do. Yet this I will not do how I can. I rather will subject me to the malice of a diverted blood and bloody brother.
But do not so. I have 500 crowns.
Oh, okay.
50 higher I saved under your father, which I did store to be my foster nurse when service should in my old limbs lie lame and unregarded age in corners thrown. Here's the gold.
Thank you.
All this I give you. Let me be your servant. Though I am old, yet I am strong and lusty, for in my youth I never did apply hot and rebellious liquors in my blood. Therefore my age is as a lusty winter, frosty, but kindly. Let me go with you. I'll do the service of a younger man in all your business and necessities.
Oh, good old man! How well in thee appears the constant service of the antique world, where service sweat for duty, not for meed, or not for the fashion of these times, where none will sweat but for promotion. So, come my ways, we'll go on together.
Go on, master, and I will follow thee to the last gasp with truth and loyalty. From 17 years till now, almost fourscore, here lived I, but now live here no more. At 17 years many their fortunes seek, but at fourscore it is too late a week. Yet fortune cannot recompense me better than to die well, and not my master's debtor.
Jupiter, how weary are my spirits.
I care not for my spirits if my legs were not weary.
I could find it in me to disgrace my man's apparel and to cry like a woman, but doublet and hose must find itself courageous in petticoat. Therefore, courage, good Aliena!
I pray you bear with me. I cannot go no further.
For my part, I would rather bear with you than bear you.
Well, this is the Forest of Arden.
Now am I in Arden. The more fool I. When I was at home, I was in a better place. But travelers must be content.
I'd be so good, Touchstone. Look you, here comes a young man and an old and solemn talk.
Sylvius, that is the way to make her scorn you still.
Oh, Corin, that thou knewest how I do love her.
I partly guess, for I have loved you now.
No, Corin, being old, thou canst not guess. But if thy love were ever like to mine, as sure I think did never man love so, how many actions most ridiculous hast thou been drawn to by thy fantasy?
Into 1,000. Did I forgot him?
Oh, thou didst then ne'er love so heartily. If thou rememberst not the slightest folly that ere love did make thee run into, thou hast not loved. Or if thou hast not sat, as I do now, wearying thy hearer with thy mistress's praise, thou hast not loved. Or if thou hast not broke from company abruptly, as my passion now makes me, thou hast not loved. Oh, Phoebe, Phoebe, Phoebe!
Alas, poor shepherd. Searching of thy wound, I have by hard adventure found mine own.
And I mine. I remember when I was in love. But as all is mortal in nature, so is all love's nature mortal in folly.
Thou speakest wiser than thou art ware of.
Nay, I shall never be aware of my own wits till I break my shins against it.
Jove. Jove, this shepherd's passion is much upon my fashion.
And I mine. There grows something stale in me.
I pray you, none of you question yon man if he for gold will give us any food. I feign almost to death.
Holla! You clown!
He's fool! He's not thy kinsman!
Ooh, cause?
Your betters, sir.
Else I'll be very wretched.
Good even to you, sir.
And to you, gentle sir, and to you all.
I prithee, if that love or gold can in this desert place By entertainment, bring us where we may rest ourselves and feed. Here's a young maid who travel much oppressed and faints for succor.
Fair sir, I pity her, but I am shepherd to another man, and do not shear the fleeces that I graze. My master is of churlish disposition, and little recks to find a way to heaven by doing deeds of hospitality. Besides, his cart, his flock, and band of feet are now on sale.
I prithee, if it stand with honesty, buy thou the cottage, pasture, and the flock, and thou shalt have to pay for it of us.
And we will mend thy wages. I like this place and willingly could, waste my time in it.
Assuredly, the things to be sold. Come with me if you like upon report the soil, the profit, and this kind of life. How your very faithful vis-a-vis.
Under the greenwood tree, who loves to lie with me and turn his merry note unto the sweet bird's throat. Come hither, come hither, come hither. Here shall he see no enemy, but winter and rough weather, but winter and rough weather.
Woo! More! I prithee. More!
Well, it will make you melancholy, Monsieur Jacques.
I think it. I can suck melancholy out of a song as a weasel sucks eggs.
My voice is ragged. I know it cannot please you.
I do not desire you to please me. I do desire you to sing. Come, another stanza. Call you on the stanzas?
What you will, Monsieur Jacques.
Nay, I care not for their names. They owe me nothing. Will you sing?
More at your request than to please myself.
Well, then, if I ever thank any man, I'll thank you. Oh, but that they call compliment is like the encounter of two dog apes. Come, come, sing.
Well, I'll end the song.
But you have been all this day to look for you.
And I have been all this day to avoid him. He is too disputable for my company. I think of as many things as he, but give heaven thanks and make no boast of them. Come, warble, come.
Who doth ambition shun, who loves to lie in the sun, seeking the food he eats and pleased with what he gets. Come hither, come hither, come hither. Here shall he see no enemy, but winter and rough weather, but winter and rough weather.
I will give you a tune to the same note that I wrote yesterday. Oh, no, thank you. In despite of my own invention. Thus it goes. If it do come to pass that any man turn ass, seeking his wealth and ease, a stubborn will to please. Yeah! Doctor May, Doctor May, Doctor May, Doctor May, Doctor May, Doctor May, yeah! Here shall he see
'Tis Greek. 'Tis a Greek invocation to call fools into a circle. Yeah, I'll go sleep if I can, and if not, I'll rail against all the firstborn of Egypt. Jake, please now.
Well, I'll go seek the Duke. His banquet is prepared.
Dear master, I can go no further. Oh, I die for food. Here I lie down and measure out my grave.
So,
Farewell, kind master.
why, how now, Adam? Live a little, comfort a little, cheer thyself a little. For my sake, be comfortable. Hold death a while at the arm's end. I'll be with thee presently. And if I bring thee not something to eat, I will give thee leave to die. But if thou diest before I come, thou art a mocker of my labor. Huh? Well said. Now look cheerly, and I will be with thee presently. Yet thou liest in the bleak air. Come on, we'll bear thee to some shelter, and thou shalt not die for lack of a dinner, if there live anything in this desert. Cheerly, good Adam, come on.
I think he be transformed into a beast, for I can nowhere find him like a man.
My lord, here has he even just gone hence. Here he was merry, hearing of a song.
If he, compact of jars, grows musical, we shall have shortly discord in the spheres. Go, seek him out. Tell him I will speak with him.
He saved my labor by his own approach.
Why, how now, monsieur? What a life is this that your poor friends must woo your poor company? But you look merrily.
A fool! No. I met a fool in the forest. A motley fool. Oh, a miserable world. As I do live by food, I met a fool who laid him down and basked him in the sun. A good morrow, fool, quoth I. No, sir, quoth he. Call me not fool till heaven have sent me fortune. And then he drew a dial from his poke, and looking on it with lackluster eye, says, very wisely, 'Tis 10 o'clock. Thus we may see, quoth he, how the world wags. 'Tis but an hour since it was 9. And in 1 hour more 'twill be 11. And then from hour to hour we ripe and ripe, and then from hour to hour we rot, and thereby hangs the tale. Oh my God. When I did hear the motley fool thus moral on the time, my lungs began to crow like Chanticleer, and I did laugh, sans intermission, an hour by his dial. Noble fool, a worthy fool. Motley is the only wear. Yeah.
Sorry, what fool is this?
Oh, worthy fool, one that hath been a courtier, and in his brain he hath strange places crammed, the which he vents in mangled forms. Oh, that I were a fool! I am ambitious for a motley coat.
Thou shalt have one.
It is my only suit. I must have liberty to blow on whom I please, for so fools have. Invest in me, my motley, give me leave to speak my mind, and I will through and through cleanse the foul body of the infected world.
Fie on thee. I can tell thee what thou wouldst do.
What, for a counter would I do but good?
most mischievous foul sin in chiding sin, for thou thyself hast been a libertine, as sensual as the brutish thing itself.
Why, who cries out on pride that can therein tax any private party? Doth it not flow as hugely as the sea, the which the very weary means do ebb? What woman in the city can I name, the cost of princes on unworthy shoulders? Who can come in and say that I mean her, when such a one as she is her neighbor? There then. How then? What then? But who comes here?
Forbear and eat no more.
Why, I have ate none yet.
Nor shalt not till necessity be served.
Of what kind should this cock come of?
Yeah.
Oh, thou wast bold enough, man, by thy distress, or else a rude despiser of good manners, that in civility thou seemst so evident.
You touch my vein at first.
Forbear, I say. He dies that touches any of this fruit till me and my affairs are answered.
And you will not be answered with reason. I must die.
What would you have? Your gentleness shall force more than your force move us to gentleness.
I almost died for food, and let me have it.
Sit you down and feed and welcome to our table.
Speak you so gently. Pardon me, I pray you, I thought that all things had been, savage here, and therefore put I on the countenance of stern commandment. Whoopsies. But whatever you are that here in this desert, inaccessible, lose and neglect the creeping hour of time, if ever you have looked on better days, and know what 'tis to pity and be pitied, let gentleness my strong enforcement be.
True it is that we have seen better days, and therefore sit you down in gentleness and take upon command what help we have.
Then, but forbear your food just a little while, whilst I, like a dove, go to find my fawn and give it food. There is an old poor man who after me hath limped many a weary step in pure love. Till he is first sufficed, I will not touch a bit.
Go find him out, and we will nothing waste till you return.
I thank ye, and be blessed for your good comforts.
Thou seest, we are not all alone unhappy. This wide and universal theater presents more woeful pageants than the scene wherein we play.
All the world's a stage.
Oh, God.
And all the men and women merely players.
I tried.
They have their exits and their entrances. And one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in his nurse's arms. And then, the whining schoolboy, with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like a snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like a furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. And then a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair, round belly, with good cape and line, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The sick sage slips into a lean and slippered pantaloon with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big, manly voice turning again toward childish trouble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of,
Welcome. I will burden and I got it.
I thank you most for him. He scarce can speak to thank you for himself.
Good cousins of music. How you sage?
Yeah, stay. Woo.
Blow, blow, thou winter wind, thou art not so unkind as man's ingratitude, as man's ingratitude. Blow, blow, thou winter wind, thy tooth is not so keen, because thou art not seen, although thy breath be rude. Hey-ho, sing hey-ho unto the green holly, most friendship is feigning, most loving mere folly. Hey-ho, sing hey-ho unto the green holly, most friendship is feigning, most loving mere folly. Then hey-ho the holly, this life is most jolly. Then hey-ho the holly, this life is most jolly. Freeze, freeze, thou bitter sky, thy bite is not so nigh, as benefits forgot, as benefits forgot. Freeze, freeze, thou bitter sky, though thou the waters pour, thy sting is not so sharp, as friends remembered not. Hey-ho, sing hey-ho to the green holly, whose friendship is fading, there's folly. Hey-ho, sing hey-ho to the green holly, whose friendship is fading, there's love in mere folly. Then hey-ho the holly, this life is most jolly. Shine singing. Then hey-ho the holly, this life is what?
If that you were the dear Sir Roland's son, and as I do his effigy's witness, most truly limed and living in thy face, be truly welcome hither. I am the Duke that loved your father. The residue of your fortune, go to my cave and tell. Give me your hand. Let me all your fortunes understand. It's okay.
Last scene of all that ends this strange, eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
Were I not the better part made mercy, I should not make an absent argument of my revenge now present. But, look to it. Find my good brother, wheresoever he is. Seek him with candle, bring him dead, or living, within this 12 month. For look thou no longer to seek a living in our territory.
Oh, let your highness do my heart this. I never loved my brother in my life.
More villain, no! Well, turn him out of doors, and make such an extent to my lords of a similar nature to seize upon his house and lands. And do this expediently. And turn him going.
My verse in witness of my love. And now, thrice crowned queen of night, survey with thy chaste eye from thy pale sphere above thy huntress's name that my full life doth sway. Oh, Rosalind! These trees shall be my books, and in their barks my thoughts all character, that every eye which in this forest looks shall see thy virtue witnessed everywhere. Run, Orlando, carve on every tree the fair, the chaste, and the unexpressive she. Yeah.
And how like you this shepherd's life, Master Touchstone?
Truly, shepherd, in respect of itself, it is a good life. But in respect that it is a shepherd's life, it is not. In respect that it is a solitary life, I like it very well. But in respect that it is a private life, it is a very vile life. But in respect that it is in the fields, it pleaseth me well. But in respect that it is not in the court, it is tedious. As it is a spare life, it fits my humor well. But as there is no room for plenty in it, it much goes against my stomach. Hast any philosophy in thee, shepherd?
No more, but that I know, the more one sickens, the less at ease he is. That the property of the rain is to wet, and fire to burn. That good pasture makes fat sheep, and a great cause of the night is lack of the sun.
Such a one is a natural philosopher. Wast ever in court, shepherd?
No, true.
Then thou art damned.
Nay, I hope.
Truly, thou art damned like an ill-roasted egg, all on one side.
For not being at court, your reason.
Okay, if thou never wast at court, thou never sawest good manners. If thou never sawest good manners, thou must be wicked. Wickedness is sin. Sin is damnation. Truly, shepherd, thou art in a parlous state.
Not a witch, Touchstone. Those that are good manners at the court are as ridiculous in the country as the behavior of the country is most mockable at the court. You tell me that you salute not at the court, but you kiss your hands. Now, that courtesy would be uncleanly if courtiers were shepherds.
Instance, instance.
Why was still handling our youths and their vows, you know, are greasy.
Oh, is not the grease of a mutton as wholesome as the sweat of a man? Mend the instance, shepherd.
Besides, our hands are hard.
Your lips would feel them the sooner. Shallow, shallow. Another instance, shepherd.
And they're tarred over with the surgery of our sheep. And would you have us kiss tar? The courtiers' hands are perfumed with civet.
Most shallow man. Thou art worthy in respect of a good piece of flesh indeed. Civet is of a baser birth than tar, the very uncleanly flux of a cat. Shallow, mend the instance, shepherd.
You have too courtly a witch for me. I'll rest.
Wilt thou rest, damned? God make incision in thee, thou art raw.
Here comes your master Ganymede, my young mistress's brother.
From the east to western end, no jewel is like Rosalind. Her worth being mounted on the wind, through all the world bears Rosalind. All the pictures fairest lined are but black to... Rosalind. Let no fair be kept in mind, but the fair of Rosalind.
If a heart do lack a hind, let him seek out Rosalind. If the cat will after kind, so be sure will Rosalind. Winter garments must be lined, so must the slender Rosalind. They that reap must sheath and bind, then to cart with Rosalind. The sweetest nut hath sourest rind, such a nut is Rosalind. They that go to Rose find must find love's prick and Rosalind.
Fool!
This is the very false gallop of verses. Why do you infect yourself with them?
Peace, you dull fool! I found them on a tree.
Truly, the tree yields bad fruit.
Peace, here comes my sister reading. Stand aside.
Why should this a desert be? For it is unpeopled? No. Tongues I'll hang on every tree that shall civil saying show. Somehow brief the life of man runs its airy pilgrimage, that the stretching of a span buckles in its sum of itch. Some a violated vows twixt the souls of friend and friend, but upon the fairest vows, or at every sentence end, will I, Rosalinda write, teaching all that read to know the quintessence of every sprite, heaven would in little show. Heaven would that she these gifts should have, and I to live and die her slave.
Oh, most gentle pulpiter! What tedious homily of love have you wearied your parishioners withal?
Come now, back, friends shepherd, go off a little.
This guy.
Go with him, sirrah.
Come, shepherd, let us make an honorable retreat, though not with bag and baggage, yet with script and scrippage.
Didst thou hear these verses?
Yes, I heard them and more, for some of them had in them more feet than the verses would bear.
That's no matter, the feet might bear the verses.
But the feet were lame and could not bear themselves without the verse, and therefore they stood lamely in the verse.
But didst thou hear without wondering how thy name should be hanged and carved upon these trees? Know you who has done this?
Is it a man?
Aye, and a chain that you once wore about his neck? Change you color?
Prithee, who is it?
Lord, it is a hard matter for friends to meet, but mountains may be removed with earthquakes and
Nay, but who is it?
Is it possible?
I prithee, with most petitionary vehemence, tell me who it is.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, and most wonderful, wonderful, and yet again, wonderful. And after that, out of all, whooping!
My complexion! Dost thou think because I am comparison like a man, I have a doublet and hose in my disposition? I pray thee, tell me who it is, and speak apace. Take the cork out of thy mouth, that I may drink thy tidings.
So you may put a man in your belly.
What manner of man? Is his head worth a hat, or his chin worth a beard?
Nay, he hath but a little beard.
Well, God will send more if the man be thankful. But I will stay the growth of his beard if thou delay me not the knowledge of his chin.
It is young Orlando.
Nay, but the devil take thy mocking. Speak, sad brow, and true maid.
In faith, 'cause 'tis he.
Orlando? Alas the day! What shall I do with my doublet and hose? What did he when thou saw'st him? What said he? Where went he? Where remains he? Did he ask for me? How looked he? How parted he with thee? And when shalt thou see him again? Answer me in one word.
You must bar me Gargantua's mouth first. It is a word too great for any mouth of this age's size.
But does he know that I'm in this forest and in man's apparel? Looks he as freshly as he did the day he wrestled?
It is as easy to count atomies as it is to resolve the propositions of a lover, but take a taste of my finding him, relish it with great observance. I found him under a tree, like a dropped acorn.
It may well be called Jove's tree when it drops forth such fruit.
Give me audience, good madam.
Proceed.
There lay he, stretched along like a wounded knight.
It would be a pity to see such a sight. It well becomes the ground.
Try holla to thy tongue, I prithee, it curvets unseasonably. He was furnished like a hunter.
Oh, ominous! He comes to kill my heart.
I would sing my song without a burden, thou bringest me out of tune.
Do you not know I am a woman? When I think I must speak sweet say,
You bring me out. Soft. Comes not he here?
'Tis he. Slink by and note him.
I thank you for your company, but good faith I had as lief been left myself alone.
And so had I, but yet for fashion's sake I thank you too for your society.
God be with you. Let's meet as little as we can.
I do desire we may be better strangers. That's little mine.
I pray you, mar no more trees with writing love songs in their bark.
I pray you mar no more of my verses with reading them ill-favoredly.
Okay. One, two. So, Rosalind is your love's name?
Yes, just.
I do not like her name.
There was no thought of pleasing you when she was christened.
That's fair. What stature is she of?
Just as high as my heart.
Wow, you are full of pretty answers. Will you sit down with me, and we two will rail against our mistress the world and all our misery?
I will jibe no breather in the world but myself, against whom I know most faults.
The worst fault you have is to be in love.
'Tis a fault I will not change even for your best virtue. I am weary of you.
By my troth, I was seeking for a fool when I found you. I'll tarry no longer with you. Farewell, good Signor Love.
I am glad of your departure. Adieu, good Monsieur Melancholy.
I will speak to him like a saucy lackey, and under that habit, play the knave with him. Do you hear, Forester?
Oh, very well. What would you?
I pray you, what is the clock?
Excuse me, ma'am. Do you have your phone? Wait a minute. There's no clock in the forest. You should ask me what time of day.
Then there is no true lover in the forest, else sighing every minute and groaning every hour could detect the lazy foot of time as well as the clock.
And why not the swift foot of time? Not that Venus proper.
By no means. Time travels in diverse paces with diverse persons. I'll tell thee who time ambles withal, who time gallops withal, and who time stands still withal.
I pray you who doth the amble withal.
Mary, he ambles with the young maid, between the contract of her wedding and the day it is solemnized, if the interim be but a 7 night, time's pace is so hard that it seems the length of 7 years.
Who doth it gallop withal?
He gallops with a thief to the gallows, for though he goes as softly as foot can fall, he thinks himself too soon there.
And who stands it still withal?
With lawyers in the vacation, for they sleep between term and term, and they perceive not how time moves.
Where dwellest thou, pretty youth?
With the shepherdess, my sister, here in the skirts of the forest.
Well, your accent is finer than you could purchase in so removed a dwelling.
I have been told so of many, for indeed, an old religious uncle of mine taught me to speak, who was in his youth an inland man, one who knew courtship a great deal, for there he fell in love. No. I have heard him read a great many lectures against it, and I thank God I am not a woman to have been touched with so many giddy offenses as he hath generally taxed their whole sex withal. Well.
Can you recount any of the principal evils he laid to the charge of women?
No! I will not cast away my physic, but on those that are sick. There is a man, haunts the forest, that abuses our young plants with carving Rosalind in their barks. Hangs odes upon hawthorns and elegies on brambles, all forsooth deifying the name of Rosalind. If I could meet this fancy monger, I would give him some good counsel, for he seems to have the quotidian of love upon him.
I am he that is so love-shaped.
No.
Pray you, tell me your remedy.
You have none of my uncle's marks upon you. He taught me to know a man in love.
What were his marks?
A lean cheek, which you have not. A blue eye and sunken, which you have not. An unquestionable spirit, which you have not. A beard neglected, which you have not. I will pardon you for that, for simply having in beard as a younger brother's revenue. But then your stocking should be ungartered, your bonnet unbanded, your sleeve unbuttoned, your shoe untied, and everything about you demonstrating a careless desolation. But you are no such man. You are rather point device in your accoutrements, as loving yourself than seeming the lover of any other.
Fair youth, I would I could make thee believe I love.
Me believe it? You were better make her that you love believe it, which I warrant she is apter to do than she confesses she does. But in good sooth, are you he that hangs the verses on the trees wherein Rosalind is so admired?
By the white hand of Rosalind, I am that he, that unfortunate he.
But are you so in love as your rhymes speak?
Oh, neither rhyme nor reason can say how much.
Love is merely a madness, and deserves as well a dark house and a whip as madmen do. Yet I do profess curing it by counsel.
Did you ever cure any self?
Yes, one. And in this manner. He was to imagine me, his love, his mistress, and I set him every day to woo me. At which point would I, being but a moonish youth, grieve, be effeminate, longing and liking, proud, fantastical, apish, full of tears, full of smiles, but now like him, now loathe him, then entertain him, then forswear him, would now weep for him, then spit at him, that I drave my suitor from his mad humor of love to a living humor of madness, which was to forswear the full stream of the world and to live in a nook merely monastic. And thus I cured him. And this way will I take upon me to wash your liver as clean as a sound sheep's heart, that there may not be one spot of love.
I would not be cured, good youth.
I would cure you, if you would but call me Rosalind, and come every day to my coat and woo me.
Now, by the faith of Rosalind, I will. Tell me where it is.
Go with me to it, and by the way, you may tell me where in the forest you live.
With all my heart, good youth.
Nay, you must call me Rosalind.
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 Come. Will you go, sister?
Rosalind.
In the springtime, the only pretty ring time, when birds do sing, hey ding-a-ling-ding. Sweet lovers love the spring. the only pretty ring time when birds do sing. Hey, ding-a-ling, ding-a-ding. Sweet lovers love the spring. This carol they began that hour.
With a hey, and a who, and a hey, no.
How that life was but a flower. In the springtime, the only pretty ring time, when birds do sing. Hey, ding-a-ling, ding, ding. Sweet lovers love the spring. And therefore take the present time.
With a hey, and a ho, and a hey, no.
Now that love is crowned with the prime. In the springtime, the only pretty ring time, when birds do sing. Hey, ding-a-ling, ding, ding-a-ling. You're good. Sweet lovers love the spring. Ow! Olay!
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. You like that? Yeah, come on. In the springtime, the only pretty ring time, when birds do sing. Hey, ding-a-ling, ding.
Oh my god.
Oh boy. I don't know. Sweet lovers love the spring.
There was no great matter in the ditty, yet the note was quite untunable.
You were most deceived, Audrey. We kept our time. We lost not our time.
By my troth, yes, I count it but time lost to hear such a foolish song.
Oh, Audrey, come apace, Audrey. I will fetch thy goats, Audrey. And how now, Audrey? Am I the man yet? Doth my simple feature content you?
Your features. Lord Lawrence has what features?
Audrey, I'm among thee and thy goats, the same way the most capricious poet, honest Ovid, was among the Goths.
Oh, knowledge ill inhabited, worse than Jove in a thatched house.
A man's jokes cannot be understood. It strikes a man more dead than a great reckoning in a little room. Oh, I wish the gods had made thee poetical.
I do not know what poetical is. Is it an honest thing in deed and word? Is it a true thing?
No, truly, for the truest poets are the most feigning.
Well, would you not have me honest?
No, truly, for honesty coupled to beauty is to have honey a sauce to sugar.
A material fool.
Well, I'm not fair, so I pray the gods make me honest.
No, truly, for honesty into a foul slut is to put good meat into an unclean dish.
I am not a slut. Though I think the gods I am foul.
Praise be the gods for thy foulness. The sluttishness may come hereafter. But, be it as it may be, I will marry thee, Audrey, and to that end, I have met with Sir Oliver Martext, the vicar of the next village, who has promised to meet us here in this spot of the forest and to couple us.
Oh, I would fain see this meeting.
Will the gods bring us joy?
Amen. Sir Oliver Martext! Oh, Sir Oliver Martext, are you to dispatch us here, under this tree, or shall we go with you to your chapel?
Chapel?
Mm-hmm.
Is there none here to give the woman?
I will not take her on gift of any man.
Truly, she must be given, or else the marriage is not legal.
Proceed. I'll give her.
Good evening, good master. What do you call it?
The fuck?
How do you, sir? God healed you for your last meeting. It is very nice to see you. Ow!
Will you be married, Motley?
Just as the ox hath his bow, so too doth man have his desires. And as the pigeon's bill, so wedlock would be nibbling.
Okay. But will you, being a man of your breeding, be married here, under a bush, like a beggar? Get thee to church. Get a good priest who can tell you what marriage is. This man would but join you together as they join wainscot.
I am more wont to marry of him than of another, for he is not like to marry me well, and not being well married is a good excuse for me hereafter to leave my wife.
Okay, go that with me. Let me counsel thee.
Audrey! We must be married or we must live in Audrey. Wait. Oh, brave Oliver. Oh, sweet Oliver. Leave me not behind thee, but wind away. Be gone, I say. I will not do wedding with thee.
What?
Let's go.
What?
Never talk to me. I will weep.
Yet have the grace to consider that tears do not become a man.
But have I not the cause for weeping?
It's because one would desire, therefore weep.
Oh. His very hair is of the dissembling color.
Aye, something fairer than Judas's.
Faith, his hair is of a good color.
A most excellent color. The flaxen was ever the only color.
But why did he swear he would come this morning, and comes he not?
Nay, certainly, there is no truth in him.
Do you think so?
I do not think him a pick-purse or a horse-stealer, but for his verity in love, I do think him as concave as a covered goblet or a worm-eaten nut.
Not true in love?
Yes, when he is in, but I think he is not in.
You have heard him swear downright he was.
Was is not is. Besides, the oath of a lover is no stronger than the word of a tapster. He tends here in the forest on the Duke your father.
I met the Duke yesterday and had much good question with him. He asked me of what parentage I was. I told him of as good as he. So then he laughed and let me go. But what talk we of fathers when there is such a man as Orlando?
Oh, there's a brave man. He writes brave verses, speaks brave words, swears brave oaths, and breaks them bravely. Look who comes here.
Sweet Phoebe, do not scorn me. Do not, Phoebe. See that you love me not, but say not so in bitterness. The common executioner falls not the axe upon the humble neck, but first begs pardon. Will you sterner be than he that dies and lives by bloody drops?
I would not be thy executioner. I fly thee, for I would not injure thee. Thou tellst me there is murder in mine eye? 'Tis pretty sure and very probable that eyes which are the frailest and softest things shall be called tyrants, butchers, murderers. And if mine eyes can wound, now let them kill thee. Now counterfeit to swoon, why not fall down? Or if thou canst not, for shame, lie not to say mine eyes are murderers. Now show the wound mine eye hath made in thee.
And why, I pray you? Who might be your mother that you insult, exalt, and all at once over the wretched? What, do you have no beauty? Must you therefore be proud and pitiless? Why, what means this? Why do you look on me? What? My little life, I think she means to tangle my eyes too. No! Faith, proud mistress, look not after it. 'Tis not your inky brows, nor your silk black hair, nor your bugle eyes, nor your cheek of cream that can attain my spirit to your worship. You foolish shepherd, wherefore do you follow her? You are 1,000 times proper a man than she a woman. 'Tis such fools as you that make the world full of ill-favored children. But, mistress, know yourself down on your knees and thank heaven, fasting for a good man's love. For I must tell you, friendly in your ear, sell when you can. You are not for all markets. Cry the man mercy. Love him. Take his offer. Foul is most foul, being foul to be a scoffer. So take her to thee, shepherd. Farewell.
Sweetie youth, I pray you, chide here together. I'd rather hear you chide than this man woo.
He'll fall in love with her foulness, and she'll fall in love with my anger. Why look you so upon me?
No ill will, I pray you.
I pray you do not fall in love with me, for I am falser than vows made in wine. Besides, I like you not. Will you go, sister? Shepherd, fly her hard. Come, sister.
That shepherd, now I find myself might. Whoever loved that loved not at first sight. Sweet Phoebe, what sayest thou, Silvius? Sweet Phoebe, pity me. Why, I am sorry for thee, gentle Silvius.
Wherever sorrow is, relief would be. If you do sorrow at my grief and love by giving love, your sorrow and my grief are both extermined.
Silvius, the time was that I hated thee. And now, 'tis not that I bear thee love, but thy company, which erst was irksome to me, I will endure, and I'll employ thee too. But do not look for further recompense than thine own gladness that thou art employed. Knowest thou the youth that spoke to me erewhile?
Not very well, but I have seen him oft, and he hath bought the cottage and the bounds that the old Carlet once was master of.
Think not I love him, though I ask for him. 'Tis but a peevish boy, yet he talks well. But what care I for words? Yet words do well when he that speaks them pleases those that hear. It is a pretty youth, not very pretty, but sure he's proud, and yet his pride becomes him. He'll make a proper man. The best thing in him is his complexion, and faster that his tongue did make offense, his eye did heal it up. He's not very tall, yet for his years he's tall. His leg is but so, and yet 'tis well. There be some women, Silvius, had they marked it in parcels as I did, would have gone near to fall in love with him. But for my part, I love him not, nor hate him not, though I have more cause to hate him than to love him. But that's all one. Admittance is no quittance. I'll write to him a very taunting letter, and thou shalt bear it. Wilt thou, Silvius?
Phoebe, with all my heart.
And I'll write it straight. Go with me, Silvius. Come on.
Pretty youths, let me be better acquainted with thee.
They say you are a melancholy fellow.
I am so. I do love it better than laughing.
Those that are in extremity of either are abominable fellows who betray themselves to every modern censure worse than drunkards.
Why, 'tis good to be sad and say nothing.
Why then, 'tis good to be a post.
I have neither the scholar's melancholy, which is emulation, nor the musicians, which is fantastical, nor the courtiers, which is proud, nor the soldiers, which is ambitious, nor the lawyers, which is politic, nor the ladies, which is nice, nor the lovers, which is all of these, but it is a melancholy of mine own, extracted from many simples, compounded of many objects, and indeed, the sundry's contemplation of my travels, in which my most often rumination wraps me in a most humorous sadness.
A traveler? By my faith, you have great reason to be sad. For I fear you have sold your own lands to see other men's, why then to have seen much, and to have nothing is to have rich eyes and poor hands.
Yes. I have gained my experience.
And your experience makes you sad. I had rather a fool to make me merry than experience to make me sad.
Good day and happiness, dear Rosaline.
God be with you, and, you. Talk in blank verse.
Farewell, Monsieur Traveler. Why, how now, Orlando? Where have you been all this while? You, a lover, and you serve me such another trick? Never come in my sight again.
My fair Rosalind, I come within... Hey, do you have the time? Never mind. I've got an hour of my promise.
Nay, and you come so tardy, I had as lief be wooed of a snail.
Of a snail?
Aye, of a snail, for though he comes slowly, he carries his house on his head. A better jointure, I think, than you make a woman. Besides, he brings his destiny with him.
What's that?
Why, horns, which such as you are fain to be beholding your wives for.
Virtue is no horn maker, and my Rosalind is virtuous.
And I am your Rosalind.
It pleases him to call you so, but he hath a Rosalind of a better leer than you.
Come, woo me, for now I'm in a holiday humor and like enough to consent. What would you say to me now, and I were your very Rosalind?
I would kiss before I spoke.
Nay, you were better speak first, and when you were gravelled for lack of matter, the cleanliest shift is to kiss.
How if the kiss be denied?
Then she puts you to entreaty, and therein begins a new matter.
Who could be out being before his beloved mistress?
Marry, that should you, if I were your mistress.
What? Out of my suit?
Not out of your apparel, yet out of your suit. Am I not your Rosalind?
I take some joy to say you are, because I would be talking of her.
Well, in her person, I say, I will not have you.
Well,
that in mine own person, I die!
Oh, faith! Die by attorney! The poor world is almost 6,000 years old, and in all this time there were not a single man died in his own person, vital is it, in a love cause. Men have died, and worms have eaten them, but not for love.
Well, I would not have my right Rosalind of this mind, for I protest her frown might kill me.
By this hand, it will not kill a fly.
Okay.
But now I will be your Rosalind in a more coming on disposition. Ask me what you will. I will grant it.
Then love me, Rosaline.
Yes! Faith will I! Fridays and Saturdays and all!
And wilt thou have me?
I and 20 such!
What sayest thou?
Are you not good?
I hope so.
Why then, can one desire too much of a good thing? Come, sister, you will be the priest and marry us. Give me your hand, Orlando. What do you say, sister?
Pray thee, marry us.
I cannot say the words.
Well, you must begin, will you, Orlando?
Go to. Will you, Orlando, have to wife this Rosalind?
I will.
Aye, but when?
Why, by now, as fast as she can marry us.
Well, then you must say, I do take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I do take thee, Rosaline, for wife.
I do take thee, Orlando, for my husband. There's a girl goes before the priest, and certainly a woman's thought runs before her actions.
For these 2 hours, Rosalind, I will leave thee.
Alas, dear love, I cannot lack thee 2 hours.
I must attend the Duke at dinner. By 2 o'clock, I will be with thee again.
Go your ways, go your ways. I knew what you would prove. My friends told me, and I thought no less. Flattering tongue of yours won me. 2 o'clock is your hour.
Yes, sweet Rosalind.
By my troth, if you break one jot of your promise or come 1 minute behind your hour, I will think you the most pathetical break promise and the most hollow lover, and the most unworthy of her you call Rosalind that could have been chosen out of the gross band of the unfaithful. So, look you, beware my censure, and keep your promise.
With no less religion than if thou wert indeed my Rosaline. So, adieu.
Well, let time try. Adieu.
You have simply misused our sex in your love prate. We should have your doublet and hose plucked over your own head, so we may show the world what the bird hath done to her own nest.
Oh, cuz, my pretty little cuz, that thou didst know how many fathom deep I am in love. But it cannot be sounded. My affection hath an unknown bottom like the Bay of Portugal.
Or rather bottomless, that as fast as you pour affection in, it runs out.
I'll tell thee, Aliena, I cannot be out of the sight of Orlando. I'll go find the shadow and sigh till he come.
And I'll sleep.
Which is he that has killed this deer?
Sir, it was I.
Have you no song, my lord of Amiens, for this purpose?
Yes, sir.
Sing it. 'Tis no matter how it be in tune, so it make noise enough.
His leather skin and horns to wear.
Then sing him home! What shall he have that killed the deer? His leather skin and horns to wear.
Take thou no scorn to wear the horn. It was a crest as thou was born. Thy father's father wore it, yeah.
And thy father bore it.
The horn, the lusty, lusty horn, is not a thing to laugh to scorn, is not a thing to laugh to scorn. The horn, the lusty, lusty horn, is not a thing to laugh to scorn, is not a thing to laugh to scorn. Yeah!
I don't like you.
Come on.
Why, what say you now? Is it not 2 o'clock and here much Orlando?
I warned you, he's gone forth to sleep. Look, who comes here?
My errand is to you, fair youth. My gentle Phoebe, give me this. I know not the contents, but as I guess, it bears an angry tenor. Pardon me, I am but as a guiltless messenger. Patience herself would startle at this letter. Her love is not the hair that I do want. Why writes she so to me? Well, shepherd, well, this is a letter of your own device. No, I protest. I've never heard it, yet heard too much of Phoebe's cruelty. She Phoebe's me. Mark how the tyrant writes. Art thou God to shepherd turned, that a maiden's heart hath burned? Can a woman rail thus? Call you this railing? Why, thy Godhead laid apart, warst thou with a woman's heart? Did you ever hear such railing? Whilst the eye of man did woo me, that could do no vengeance to me, meaning me, a beast. If the scorn of your bright eyne have the power to raise such love in mine, alas, in me what strange effect would it have dealt with? Whilst you chid me, I did love. How then might your prayers move? He that brings this love to thee, little knows this love in me, and by him seal up thy mind, whether that thy youth and kind will the faithful offer take of me and all that I can make, or else by him my love deny, and then I'll study how to die. Call you this chiding?
Alas, poor shepherd.
Do you pity him? No, he deserves no pity. Shepherd, wilt thou love such a woman? Well, go your ways to her, for I see love hath made thee a tame snake. And say this to her, that if she loves me, I charge her to love thee. And if she will not, I will never have her unless thou entreat for her. If you be a true lover, hence, and not a word, for here comes more company.
Good morrow, fair ones. Pray you, if you know whereabout in the purlieus of this forest stands a sheep god fenced about with an olive tree.
West of this place, down in the neighbor bottom, a rank of osiers. Left on the murmuring stream, right on your right hand, it brings you to the place.
If then I may profit by a tongue, then I should know you by description. Are you not the owner of the house I did inquire for?
It is no boast being asked to say we are.
Orlando doth commend him to you both, and to that youth he called his Rosalind, he sent forth this bloody napkin. Are you he?
I am. What must we understand by this?
Some of my shame, if you should know what man I am, and how, and why, and where this handkerchief was stained.
I pray you, tell it.
When the last young Orlando parted from you, he left a promise to return within an hour, and, pacing through the forest, lo, what befell? He threw his eye aside, and mark what object did present itself. Under an oak, whose boughs were mossed with age, a wretched, ragged man, o'ergrown with hair, lay sleeping on his back. About his neck, a green and gilded snake had wreathed itself. With her head nimble in threats, near approached the opening of his mouth. But suddenly, seeing Orlando, it unlinked itself, and with indented glides did slip away into a bush. Under which bush a lioness, with udders all drawn dry, lay couching, head on ground, with cat-like watch. This seen, Orlando did approach the man, and found it was his brother, his elder brother.
I have oft heard him speak of that same brother, and he did render him the most unnatural that lived amongst men.
And, well, he might do so, for, well, I know he was unnatural.
But did Orlando leave him there, food to the supped and hungry lioness?
Twice he did turn his back in purpose so, but kindness, ever nobler than revenge, made him give battle to the lioness, which quickly fell before him, in which, hurtling from miserable slumber, I awoke.
Are you his brother?
Was you he rescued?
Was it you that did so oft contrive to kill him?
'Twas I, but 'tis not I. I do not shame to tell you what I was, since my conversion so sweetly tastes being the thing I am.
But to the bloody napkin!
By and by, when from the first to last betwixt us two, tears our recountenance had so kindly bathed as to how I came into that desert place. He led me instantly unto his cave. There he stripped himself, and here, upon his arm, the lioness had torn some flesh away, which all this while had bled, and now he fainted and cried in fainting upon his Rosalind. Brief, I recovered him, bound up his wound, and after some small space, being strong at heart, he sent me hither, stranger as I am, to tell you this story, that you might excuse his broken promise, and to give you this napkin, dyed in his blood, unto the shepherd youth that he in sport doth call his Rosalind.
Oh now, Ganymede, sweet Ganymede.
Many will swoon when they look on blood.
There is more in it, cousin Ganymede.
Look, he recovers.
I would I were at home. Lead you thither. I pray you, will you take him by the arm?
Be of good cheer, youth. You a man. You lack a man's heart.
So I do. A body would say this was well counterfeited. I pray you to tell your brother how well I counterfeited. Hi-ho.
This is not counterfeit. There is too much testimony in your complexion that it was a passion of earnest.
Counterfeit, I assure you.
Well then, take a good heart and counterfeit to be a man.
So I do, but in faith I should have been a woman by right.
You grow paler and paler. Let's draw you homewards. Good sir, go with us.
That will I, for I must bear answer back how you excuse my brother, Rosalind.
I will devise something, but commend my counterfeiting to him. Will you go?
We will find your time, Audrey. Patience, gentle Audrey.
Faith, the priest was good enough for all the old man's saying.
A most wicked Sir Oliver, a most vile marked text. But, Audrey, there is youth here in the forest lays claim to you.
I know who 'tis. He hath no interest in me in the world. Here comes the man you mean.
It is meat and drink to me to see a clown.
Good even, sweet Audrey. God ye good even, William.
Good even to you too, sir.
Good even, gentle friend. Cover thy head. Cover thy head. I pray thee, be covered. How old are you, sir?
5 and 20.
A ripe age. Is thy name William?
William, sir.
A very fine name. Was born in the forest here.
I, sir, I thank God.
Thank God. Good answer. Art rich?
Really, sir, so-so.
So-so is good. Very good. Very excellent good. And yet it is not. It is but so-so. Are you wise, sir?
I, sir, I have a pretty wit.
Pretty wit. I do now remember a saying, the fool doth say he is wise, but the wise man doth know himself to be a fool. You do love this maid?
Yes, sir, I do.
Give me your hand. Are you learned?
No, sir.
Then learn this of me. To have is to have, for it is a figure in rhetoric that drink, being poured from one cup into a glass, one doth empty, doth fill the other. For all your writers do consent that ipse is he. Now, you are not ipse. For I am he.
Which he, sir?
He, sir, that must marry this woman. Therefore, you clown, abandon! Which in the vulgar is leave the society, which in the boorish is company of this female, which in the common is woman, which altogether is abandon the society of this female, or clown, thou perishest. Oh, thou diest. Or to wit, I kill thee, make thee away. I translate thy life into death. I will deal in poison with thee, or in bastinado, or in steel. I will overrun thee with policy. I will bandy thee with faction. I will kill thee 150 ways. Therefore tremble and depart.
Do, good William.
God rest you merry, good sir.
Tomorrow's a lovely day, Audrey, for tomorrow we will be married.
I do desire it with all of my heart, though I hope it is no dishonest desire to be a woman of the world.
Nah.
Our master mistress seeks you. Come away, dame.
Trip, Audrey, trip, I attend, I attend.
Is it possible that on so short an acquaintance you should like her?
Neither call the giddiness that have been to question, the poverty of her, the small acquaintance, the sudden wooing, nor the sudden consenting. But say with me, I love Aliena.
I love it.
Yeah, you got it. Say with her, she loves me. Consent with us that we may enjoy each other. It shall be to your benefit. For my father's house and all the revenue that was old Sir Roland's will, I estate upon you.
You have my consent! Let your wedding be tomorrow. Go you and prepare Aliena for, look, here comes my Rosaline.
God save you, fair brother.
And you, fair sister.
Oh, my dear Orlando, how it grieves me to see thee wear thy heart in a scarf.
It is my arm.
Did your brother tell you how I counterfeited to swoon when he showed me your handkerchief?
Aye, and greater wonders than that.
Oh! I know where you are, for nay, 'tis true that your brother and my sister no sooner met but they looked, no sooner looked but they loved, no sooner loved but they sighed, no sooner sighed but they asked one another the reason, no sooner knew the reason but they sought the remedy. They are in the very wrath of love. Clubs will not part them.
They shall be married tomorrow, and I will bid adieu to the nuptial. But, oh, how bitter a thing it is to look into happiness through another man's eyes.
Why then, tomorrow I cannot serve your turn for Rosalind?
I can live no longer by thinking.
I will weary you, then, no longer with idle talking. Know of me, then, for now I speak to some purpose, that I know you are a gentleman of good conceit. I speak not this, that you should bear a good opinion of my knowledge, insomuch as I say, I know you are. Believe me, then, if you please, that I can do strange things. If you do love Rosalind so near the heart as your gesture cries it out, when your brother marries Aliena, shall you marry her? I know into what straits of fortune she is driven, and it is not impossible to me, if it appear not inconvenient to you, to set her before your eyes tomorrow, human as she is and without any danger.
Speakest thou in sober meaning?
By my life, I do, and I tender it dearly, for if you will be married tomorrow, you shall, and to Rosalind, if you will. Look, here comes a lover of mine and a lover of hers.
What?
You have done me much ungentleness to show the letter that I writ you. I care not if I have, it is my study to seem despiteful and ungentle to you. You are there followed by a faithful shepherd. Look upon him, love him, he worships you.
Good shepherd, tell this youth what 'tis to love. It is to be all made of sighs and tears. And so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosaline.
And I for no woman.
It is to be all made of faith and service. And so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosaline.
And I for no woman.
It is to be all made of fantasy, all made of passion, all made of wishes, all adoration, duty, and observance, all humbleness, all patience and impatience, all purity, all trial, all obedience. And so am I for Phoebe.
And so am I for God. And so am I for no woman.
If this be so, why blame you me to love you? If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, I blame you me to love
Who
you.
do you speak to? Why blame you me to love
To
you?
her that is not here, nor doth not hear.
I pray you, no more of this. It is like the howling of the Irish wolves against the moon. I will help you if I can. I would love you if I could. Tomorrow, meet me all together. I will marry you if I ever marry a woman, and I'll be married tomorrow. I will satisfy you if I ever satisfy a man, and you'll be married tomorrow. I will content you if what pleases you contents you, and you'll be married tomorrow. As you love Phoebe, meet. As you love Rosalind, meet. And as I love no woman, I'll meet. You say that you'll have me if I be willing.
That will I, should I die the hour after.
But if you do refuse to marry me, you'll give yourself to this most faithful shepherd.
'Tis the bargain.
And you say that you'll have Phoebe if she will.
I would have her and death were both one thing.
So, fare you well, I have left you commands.
I'll not fail if I live, nor I.
Nor I.
shepherd boy some lively touches of my daughter's favor.
My lord, let me tell you, first time I saw him, we thought he was a brother to your daughter.
Huh. Dost thou believe, Orlando, that the boy can do all this that he hath promised?
I sometimes do and sometimes do not, as those that fear, they hope and know they fear.
Well, there is sure another flood toward, and these couples are coming to the ark. Oh, here comes a pair of very strange beasts, the which in all tongues are called fools.
Salutation and greeting to you all!
Good my lord, this is the motley-minded gentleman I have so often met in the forest. He hath been a courtier, he swears.
If any man doubt that, let him put me to my purgation. I have trod a measure. I have flattered a lady. I have been politic with mine friend, smooth with mine enemy. I've had 4 quarrels and like to have fought 1.
And how is that ta'en up?
Faith, we met and found the quarrel was upon the 7th cause.
How 7th cause? Good my lord, like this fellow.
I like him very well.
God kill you, sir. I desire you of the like. Let me press in amongst the country copulatives who swear and forswear. A poor virgin, sir, an ill-favored thing, mine own. A poor humor of mine, sir, to take that no man else will.
But how 7th cause?
Oh,
How the 7th cause?
as thus, sir. Bury our body more seeming, Audrey.
Oh.
I did dislike the cut of a certain courtier's beard. He sent me word that if I did dislike the cut of his beard, he was in the mind it was good. This is called the retort courteous. If again I sent him word I did dislike the cut of his beard, he sent me word he had cut it to please himself. This is called the quip modest. If again I say I did dislike the cut of his beard, he would send me word saying he disregarded my judgment. This is called the reply churlish. If again I did dislike the cut of his beard, he would say I spake not true. This is called the reproof valiant. If again I did dislike the cut of his beard, he would say, I lied. This is called the counter-check quarrelsome. So too with the lie circumstantial and the lie direct.
How oft was his beard not well cut?
I durst go no further than the lie circumstantial, nor he durst not give me the lie direct, and so we measured swords and parted.
Can you, hey,
can
you nominate now, in order, the degrees of the lie?
Yes, sir, we quarrel in print by the book, as you have books for good manners. I will now name you the degrees. Take notes.
Okay.
The first, the retort courteous. The second, the quit modest. The third, the reply churlish. The fourth, the reproof valiant. The fifth, the counter check quarrelsome. The sixth, the lie circumstantial. The seventh, the lie direct. All these you may avoid except the lie direct. And you may avoid that too, but with an if. I knew of 7 justices when they met. They could not come to a conclusion until they thought of but an if, as if you said so, then I said so. Your if is your only peacemaker. Much virtue in if.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is this not a remarkable man, my lord? He is as good at anything, and yet a fool.
He uses his folly like a stalking horse, and under the presentation of that, he shoots his wig.
That was good.
Oh my God, it's Hymen, the god of marriage!
And there is mirth in heaven when earthly things made even atone together. Good Duke, receive thy daughter. Hymen from heaven, that's me, brought her hither, that thou mightst join her hand with his, whose heart within his bosom is.
To you I give myself, for I am yours. To you I give myself, for I am yours. I'll have no father if you be not he, nor have no husband if you be not he. Nor ne'er wed woman, if you be not she.
Peace, ho! Not you. I bar confusion. 'Tis I must make conclusion of these most strange events. Here's,
17.
8, actually, that must take hands to join in Hymen's bands, if truth hold true content. You and you, no cross shall part. You and you are you to his love must accord, or have a woman to your lord. You and you are sure together as the winter to foul weather. Whiles a wedlock hymn we sing, feed yourselves with questioning, that reason, wonder may diminish how thus we met, and these things finish. Wedding is great Juno's crown, oh, blessed bond of a board and a bed. 'Tis Hymen the people's every town. High wedlock then be honored. Wedding is great Juno's crown. Oh, blessed bond of a board and a bed. 'Tis Hymen the people's every town. High wedlock then be honored. Honor, high honor and renown to Hymen, God of every town. To Hymen, God of every town. Honor, high honor and renown to Hymen, God of every town. To Hymen, God of every
Thy faith, my fancy to thee doth combine.
Ah!
Sorry.
Duke Frederick, hearing how that every day men of great birth resorted to this forest, addressed a mighty power swiftly to come here and put his brother to the sword.
No.
To the skirts of this wild wood he came, where, meeting with an old religious man, after some conference, he was converted, both from his enterprise and from the world. His crown bequeathing to his banished brother, and all their lands restored to them that were banished with him. This to be true, I do engage my life.
Welcome, dear Charles. Thou offerest fairly to these brothers' wedding. To one his lands withheld, and to the other, the land itself at large. Potent dukedom. And after, every of this happy number that hath endured true days and nights with us shall share in the good of our returned fortune, according to the measure of their states. But meantime, forget this new fallen dignity and fall into our rustic revelry.
Yeah! Wait, hang on. Hey, sir! Fire patience! Sir, if I heard you rightly, the Duke hath put on a religious life and thrown into contempt a pompous court?
He has.
Oh. To him I will. Out of these convertites there is much to be heard and learned. You, to your former honor I bequeath, your patience and virtue well deserves it. You to a land and love and great allies. You to a love that true faith doth merit. You to a long and well-deserved bed. Ouch! And you to wrangling, for thy loving voyage is but 2 months victualled. So to your pleasures I am for other than dancing measures. Slay quiz out.
Stay.
Yeah, Jacob.
You can sing another duet.
I can't. To see no pastime?
Okay, proceed. And we begin these rites as we do trust they'll end in true delights.
Our work is done.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Fashion to see the woman, the epilogue. But 'tis no more unhandsome than to see the lord, the prologue. If it be true that good wine needs no bush, then 'tis true that a good play needs no epilogue. But to good wine they do use good bushes, and therefore good plays are made the better by the help of a good epilogue. What a case am I then that am neither a good epilogue nor cannot insinuate with you on behalf of a good play? I am not furnished like a beggar, therefore to beg will not become me. My way is to conjure you. And I'll begin with the women. I charge you, O women, for the love you bear to men, to like as much of this play as please you. And I charge you, O men, for the love you bear to women, as I perceive by your simpering, none of you hates them, that between you and the women, the play may please. If I were a woman, I would kiss as many of you as had beards that pleased me, complexions that liked me, and breaths that I defied not. And I am sure as many of you as have good beards, or kind faces, or sweet breaths, will, for my kind offer, when I make curtsy, bid me farewell.
Mechanicals. Couple notes. First of all, big thank you to Dorian Collis, great dude. Secondly, he is all the way back in Belgrade, Serbia, but also props to my brother, George, who composed all of the music that